bad. Good afternoon and welcome to the Bitter Knitters podcast, the TV Attack Edition. My name is Jacqueline. Justin is here.
Whatever, you can call me whatever. Hey, how's it going?
Like how long? I didn't even say the date. I know we had a hiatus, like we think we're Nashville or something.
Which is coming back next
we're
week.
We're on the back end of the season.
Did you watch the little trailer that they had?
No.
They had like all like the stars that would be like, yeah, this is our greatest season ever. And then they would show awful clips. And I'm like, oh no, this is going to be so bad. The only thing is out of nowhere, maybe we'll see the evolution in the show, but now Juliet's like no longer drinking the Kool-Aid and she's going against the cult leader. And she's like, I can't believe you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I saw a clip. Maybe I did see that clip then, but I didn't see other people talking about it. But I saw a clip where she was like, "You're what you're doing is not right, controlling people's lives or something." And I'm like, "Whoa, Juliet's fighting back."
Yeah, but last time we saw her, she was stuck in Bolivia and like totally brainwashed. So we'll see. But you know what? The Nashville writers have never been accused of being competent, so
or consistent,
or keep up with characters that they introduce. But that's okay. We love Nashville. So I believe that's back not this coming week, but the following week. I think it's like June 6th, maybe. Yeah. So that's coming up soon.
And we will be talking about that.
Speaking of shows that used to star Raina James / Connie Britton, we're going to go over some news items quickly, and then we will talk about the fall schedules, cancellations, renewals, and then if we have time, we'll talk about 13 Reasons Why. But we are getting a little more information about season 2 of our favorite show of 2018, 911.
I will say it's my favorite, but it was up there.
It's your favorite.
Not when the Resident and Dr. Sean Murphy exist.
That's true. Well, Dr. Sean Murphy was technically a 2017 show. But the Resident 2018. True. So, okay, so we all knew that Connie Britton was leaving the show. She had only signed up for one season. Apparently, she got hired late in the process as kind of a buck. Long enough to bone Buck. And now we've got 2 casting news. So replacing Connie Britton in the 911 operator room is going to be Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Not a fan of her. I mean, you know what? Like, she's fine when she joins a show or whatever. I don't know what people see in her. I don't think she's as charming as people say. And she's got a goofy smile that makes me think of somebody in my family that I don't like. So I think that's why I've never really liked her.
She's no Connie Britton and she's no Carla.
She's not.
No. All they had to do is put Carla in that room, and all the viewers would have been happy.
Yeah. And, I mean, she's already got the medical knowledge. All they had to do is teach her how to use the machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plug in your headphones and press pause like freaking Connie Britton always did.
Yeah, and we've seen her talking on the phone sassily. She can do it.
Yeah.
Carla. And she's going to be Buck's sister, so Buck won't be trying to bone her. Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, I still am not holding my breath on that one.
And they're also introducing a new firefighter to fight fires alongside Buck.
Jennifer Love Hewitt's love interest?
Probably. It's that guy, Ryan Guzman. He was that guy in Boy Next Door, that Jennifer Lopez movie a few years ago.
I know who you're talking about.
And I think he was also on, according to this website, they called him Pretty Little Liars, Ryan Guzman.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's the cop. Yeah. He was the cop. He's kind of hot.
Yeah, he was also on the Heroes Reborn flop, which was awful. Yeah. And the show that I loved that nobody else watched, Piper Parabo's Notorious from a year or 2 ago.
Oh, I did not watch that.
It was good. Good.
That's why nobody knows what it is.
So apparently more cast releases will be coming out soon. I'm still hoping for Carla to be upgraded to series regular.
I just remembered when I said they were going to hook Jennifer Love Hewitt up with this new policeman, that the captain and Angela Bassett were hooking up at the end.
Oh, yeah. So, I forgot about that.
Me too. I was like, whoa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's coming back in the fall. Can't wait. Big Brother news. Not only are we for sure getting a Celebrity Big Brother Season 2, probably around the same time of year that we got it this year, we are also getting Season 20, which is insane, coming up soon. And the premiere date is going to be Wednesday, June 27th.
Yeah, so a month today.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. And then on Monday the 25th, we're getting the return of Salvation. Which
I forgot about that show.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned
liked that show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show. So we'll see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where season 2 goes of Salvation. And then, even though to me, season 20 of Big Brother sounds like it should be a big returning all-star season, all the hints going out there are saying it's going to be just a regular competitor.
I'm okay with just a regular season. I don't really need anybody to come back, but I hope they don't screw it up with a ton of twists that always flop. Like their twists always flop.
Their flips, but their twists have always flopped forever.
Yeah,
I remember all the way.
Season 3 or 4 when they had Nokomis and her cowboy brother.
Nokomis was
figured that out within 2 days.
And also remember that bit. I think it was the same season with the twins.
yeah, Natalie and Andrea.
Yeah, and then the other twins, Vanessa and what's her name, a couple years ago. I just feel
I forgot about them. Yes, the twins always flop.
It's just all their twists just don't usually go anywhere and work very well. So I don't know. Just give me a plain old vanilla season. And
if they want to do some twists, start doing it like the UK version where somebody gets evicted, but they're not really evicted and they're secretly watching everything and get all the dirt. And then they come in with angry feelings and bitter, and they're like, "I was gone and you didn't even miss me, and you talked shit about me." That's the way to do it. Come on.
That sounds fun.
And then so people are like sad because they're like broken up with their lost loves. They think they're in love. And then like when they come back, it's so good. That's the way to do it. I love when Big Brother UK does that.
And it sounds like we're not going to, one reason why we won't get returnees this year is because I think in the summer they'll be filming the rumored Big Brother Amazing Race season, where it looks like the rumored list had like Janelle and that Asian James from a couple years ago, and Caleb racing with Ty from Survivor. And apparently, fortunately, Frankie said no.
He's too busy following his sister around on tour.
Yeah, which is good. I'm okay.
I've always been a Janelle fan. I know she's getting up there in age, and she's had a few babies. I hope she's still in great shape. I love Janelle. I'll always root for her. And, of course, Ty. Yeah,
and they're trying to get Dan Giesling. Apparently, he's being kind of hard to get, but they're trying to get him too. He's also getting up there in age.
I mean, The Amazing Race is not, it's no joke, and they're not going to make it easy just because it's, former freaking reality TV people.
No, because they've had reality TV show competitors
Boston Rob and Amber.
Rob and Amber. They had Brendan and Rachel last year. Cody and what's her name won. Jess and Cody. That sounds right.
I haven't watched Amazing Race in a long time, but I might check out this just to see some old familiar faces.
Yeah, it might be kind of fun. I feel like they've kind of simplified it and watered it down over the years.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's as fun to watch as it used to be, and plus we're getting the same places over and over, and there's not a lot of new places.
You get to the point where you can only watch a girl watching her boyfriend or husband rappel down a cliff and be like, "Come on, babe, I know you can do it, babe."
Yeah.
Do it great, babe.
Faking dramas. Yeah, I always like the weird challenges. Like I remember there was one year where, and I think they've copied this a couple times. They were in like South America, and there was like a chocolate factory, and they had to bite into all the chocolates until they got the ones that was like specifically red or something like that.
I remember the greatest. I already knew Boston Rob was a genius, but when he knew he couldn't eat the meat, and it was like a timed thing, so if you didn't eat it, you had a certain amount of time before you could leave, and he tricked so many people into giving up and not eating the meat, but they would be behind him when he started the challenge back up. Freaking evil genius. I love him.
Genius.
And I had a friend who hated him. She'd be like, "He's awful. He's a cheater." I'm like, "No, he's smart. He knows how to find loopholes."
He gamed the system. He played. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah. There's also this weird one where they're like in like Germany, and they had to go through this like fun house to get to like this German rave. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's one of the few challenges I would do.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't do. Funny. Like when they have to do the dance and they have to do it like 600 times.
See, I couldn't do those, but it's fun to watch. Yeah.
I'd get frustrated. But I remember the one that always made me so sad was the hay rolling. I think it was like season 2. And they had to find the clue in that roll of hay, and the people literally rolled every bale of hay and missed the clue every single time. And Phil had to come out and tell them, "You're done."
I live in a fairly rural / suburban. It's a weird place that I live in, but every day on my way to work, I pass by those things, and all I can think of every time I see them is that Amazing Race challenge.
Yeah, and it was so sad because they never gave up. I would have been like, "Okay, call Phil out."
Yeah.
I give up.
Yeah.
Or, of course, the epic watermelon to the face.
Oh, my gosh. That was... Ouch.
She's okay. You can laugh if they're okay.
Yeah, that's true. And they showed it so many times in slow-mo and backwards, and it was good.
Okay, so what else you got? We went on Amazing Race too long.
Way too long. So Unreal is coming back for season 4. Season 3 just ended. What's interesting, though, is Lifetime cut the order from 10 to 8 episodes, and now it looks like it may not even air on Lifetime at all. In the current or season 4 might just go straight to Hulu, which is kind of interesting.
Interesting.
It shows that Lifetime has like no faith in the show anymore.
I wonder if it'll still be the same setup where they're doing like every episode is a bachelor or bachelorette episode. Yeah. It did leave on kind of sort of a cliffhanger. I'll leave it at that. And you kind of didn't know where the players were going to be next season. So
I had kind of heard. Oh no, and this verifies it, this article, that season 4 was going to be like an all-star season of that show.
I remember you mentioning that to me.
And so that would bring back some of the past.
Oh, I hope so. I hope we get some of our old favorites. That blonde British guy.
Oh, they already said he probably won't be involved in the season.
I liked him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's doing something, or he was doing something, but I think his show. Oh, he did that awful Jack the Ripper show a couple years ago. With
he doesn't have a job now. That's right. He was H.G. Wells.
That was bad. So, it looks like, and this is old news now, but I'd just like to mention it because I think it's interesting that the Obamas, Barack and Michelle, have signed a huge production deal with Netflix. So starting next year, they're going to be producing and maybe even appear on camera with something, but producing a lot of series. I would assume mostly documentary type series for
I'm going to assume documentary, inspirational type things, changing the world sort of thing.
I'll watch them.
We'll see. Depends on what the topic is. I watch, a lot of different stuff.
This morning I watched the HBO documentary, The Final Year. Okay. And what it did is it followed John Kerry, the national security guy, and the UN lady in the last months of the presidency. And Obama popped up. Yeah, of Obama's presidency. And Obama popped up here and there. And just watching him interact with people, watching him give speeches, watching him do this and do that, and talk to the camera.
Cried with your pillow in your tummy for a while.
I was depressed. Yeah. And then there was a whole scene where the UN lady with a bunch of her friends like Madeleine Albright and Gloria Steinem were watching the election, and I cried. It was so hard to watch, and it was just it was depressing. It was It was depressing, but so it'll be. I like both of them, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of stuff they produce for the.
And they're not just serious people. And I mean, I know they inspire a lot of things, and they have some powerful ideas, but they're funny people too, right? They seem fun-loving, and athletic. So who knows what they're going to put out?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So we now know what NBC's next live musical is, and it's not Bye Bye Birdie. I'm starting to think we're never going to see Bye Bye Birdie, and I'm okay with that.
Because here's the secret. Jennifer Lopez can't sing live.
Jennifer Lopez can't sing at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why you would book somebody who can't sing. Sure, she's a fantastic dancer. She looks wonderful still. She's not a singer. It's like booking Britney Spears to be in a musical. It's not going to happen. I love Britney. Like when they can't sing live.
It was like kind of the reverse of when they did Carrie Underwood for Sound of Music. She can sing, but she can't act.
Robot does not compute feelings.
Okay, Lisa. Watch out for Nazis. I'm a nun. I mean, her.
Well, at least it's not Chenoweth the entire time, right? Who can sing and act?
She just grates on me.
Yeah, the voice.
The
vein.
The vein. So apparently this next year it's all going to be about, I don't want to say R-rated, but definitely more adult musicals because Fox is giving us Rent.
Overrated.
And NBC's giving us Hair.
I've never seen the live performance of Hair, so I can't say.
I'm not
I've seen the movie from the 70s, and it was a fine movie, good movie. I would give it a chance if I'm home. Yeah. They just did that at my son and my daughter's high school. Hair. So
yeah, I'm not too familiar with it either. So it'll be interesting to see
what. Some good songs in it. I mean, beyond the theme song Hair, I mean, that's where you get Age of Aquarius. It's got a song called Good Morning Starshine. Great songs.
Oh, I forgot about Age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Hey, I know we've talked about this weeks ago, just you and I, but the greatest news ever, Siren was renewed for season 2 at Freeform. Siren was that mermaid show we recapped the premiere of a few weeks ago, and it was complete garbage.
I Am Ren season 2.
And they're going to give it 16 episodes for season 2.
Yeah, but like good shows are canceled.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about cancellations in just a couple minutes. But yeah, so that
goes on a mermaid killing spree.
And that is getting renewed for more episodes. Freeform is kind of a mess. But next, I think it's this coming week or the week after again, they're premiering their own Marvel show called Cloak
and Dagger. Yeah, my husband, I keep seeing that. I don't know what he was watching this weekend, but he kept seeing commercials. He's like, I used to read those comics.
Yeah, that was one of my brother's favorites when growing up. I don't know why. So I kind of, there's something about this character. So I'll watch. I'll give the show a chance. I just hope it's better than the Siren.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, the commercial looks okay. Yeah. Better than the commercial that Siren. Siren looked horrible. So I'm going to guess, I mean, it's got to be at least better than, poop on a piece of toilet paper like Siren is.
That should be on the poster for season 2.
Or just Cloak and Dagger. We're not Siren.
That would get me to watch. What's kind of interesting is apparently earlier this year, Lifetime secretly canceled Project Runway without telling anybody.
Oh.
Even though they still had like a couple seasons left on their contract, apparently they dropped it. I think a lot of it had to do because it was produced by the Weinstein Company. You had the whole Harvey Weinstein thing.
Yeah, the whole company was sold and everything.
Yeah, so apparently Bravo and NBC Universal came in, picked it back up, and now renewed it, and now it's going to come back onto Bravo, which it was for its first few seasons back in the 2000s.
More relevancy for Heidi Klum.
Well, here's the thing. They're apparently calling this a sort of reboot. So there's a chance that they might start from scratch with the casting and with the hosts and the judges.
But isn't that part of the magic, the people that are on it? I don't watch it. I've never watched it. But I mean, I feel like the people that are diehard fans.
You know what? I like with Nina and Tim Gunn and Heidi and then Zach the last few seasons. They've got a good rapport. Yeah. And I like them together. And I know that they will, like with All Stars and Juniors, they have different mixes of judges. But I don't think anything works as well as the 4 that have been on it. But you know what? Heidi's on their payroll with America's Got Talent. So I can see them keeping it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, and I mean, I think a show like that, I mean, I can't imagine suddenly you're going to have like a whole group of people my kids' age tuning in to watch it just because they got a new host, unless it's like somebody like a YouTuber that everybody's obsessed with, like, are they going to get PewDiePie? Other than that, who's going to turn in? You want your diehards and the people to come back to watch them.
Yeah, and I think messing with the formula too much is going to drive away fans.
I think they should just keep the, I mean, obviously if somebody doesn't want to come back, you have to replace them. But I don't think Heidi Klum is not going to come back. What else does she have to do?
Besides America's Got Talent, nothing.
Oh, I forgot she was on that show.
Make a Halloween costume. That's about it.
Yeah. Pose in a sexy outfit at some red carpet.
Hey, have we
looks good.
He does, yeah. Have we heard any updates on Catfish recently?
No, not since Neve's scandal.
So Neve had allegations against him, against someone who was on the show Catfish, and so MTV suspended the production of the show.
And then just after that came out the punch too.
And then there was a video with him punching. And again, there was this lady who claimed that he was like kind of, even though she was a lesbian, he was kind of hitting on her, said some inappropriate things to her, and made her feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And she said this in a video on her YouTube channel. But I kind of questioned kind of what she did, because she was like, oh, I'll give you more story if I get likes on this video. And
that just to me,
it's very skeevy. It looks like she was looking for more attention than anything. And she was not using people's real names. She was calling them like Jack and John or something.
Yeah,
and
it
just
was easy
to me
to decipher. And then you had, now I'll say this, I read a lot of comments on those stories, and I had a lot of people coming and saying that they had been on Catfish, and that Neve and Max were very respectful and professional, and that they didn't have any contact with them. We did see him punch some girl in a lineup at a club.
But we don't know the
no lead up to it. We don't know. I mean, it's not right to punch anybody. But we don't know what the contact is. Maybe she punched him already. We don't know. But I think it's been suspended, right? All filming right now.
Yeah, and I haven't heard any updates on that recently.
And I haven't seen him on doing his usual Facebook post with his wife and all that stuff. So I think he's probably been told to lay low.
She must be pissed. She wants that.
Oh yeah, she was trying to get famous, man.
That, you know who I feel sorry for in this whole situation? Max.
I didn't say the baby, but Max too.
No, Max. Well, the baby. Max. I mean, Max. Yeah, he's getting affected by Neve's apparent actions, and we
go ahead and get another directing gig, Max. You can do it.
We are all your friends too. Zac Efron, DJ Boogaloo. There we go. That movie was not good.
No.
Not good.
Even the hotness of Efron could not save that movie.
Oh my god, I don't necessarily know it was Max's fault, because I think everything was bad with that movie. The
script was a bad script. But yeah. I mean, I don't want to watch a movie about DJing.
Oh, we can feel the music when you DJ. You can see and feel it and just get in the DJ groove.
Your heart beats and shit. No.
That was
the only DJ movie I watch is Breaking 1 and Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, so that's where Electric Boogaloo comes from.
Yeah.
So it was from a DJ movie. Oh, okay.
It was from a DJ movie. You were very close. And sorry, Beach Street. I forgot about Beach Street.
I don't think I've ever got. I don't know. So the only one I ever watched was We Are Your Friends, which doesn't even really make sense. I don't understand why it's called that. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the fall TV schedules that have been announced the last few weeks, including a lot of.
I should have had taps queued up on my phone to play it. All the shows that are, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna go network by network. So we're gonna start with NBC. And so NBC in the last few weeks has canceled The Brave. I don't know what that is.
Never watched.
Great News, which I really liked. It was a funny sitcom, which I thought was funny. The Night Shift, which I guess was some sort of medical show. And Rise, which I never watched.
No, our friend Casey watched it.
Yeah, sometimes. He watched it. Yeah. He seemed to like it. And I always meant to watch it, but now I've got no reason to watch it.
No, I didn't watch.
And then we have something, and Timeless still has not been announced. But some shows that were renewed included AP Bio got renewed, Good Girls got renewed. What else got renewed that was new? Midnight Texas somehow got renewed.
Oh my gosh.
And some of the new shows they picked up was that Manifest show that we talked about with the airplane survivors. Starring Prince Charming. New Amsterdam, which is a really bad-looking new medical show, apparently, where the twist is, I think, the main doctor's dying, possibly.
Is it supposed to be in New York? Why didn't they New Amsterdam hasn't been called New Amsterdam since the 1700s or something.
I think that's the name of the hospital.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
But there was a show called New Amsterdam a few years ago, which apparently I think I read may have starred Jamie Lannister and had a very similar plot to one of our favorite shows, Forever.
Oh, we'll have to go back. I remember that show from a long time ago. I never watched it.
Wednesday nights is all Chicago, so I'm going to avoid Wednesday nights on NBC.
Chicago.
Medfire and PD back to back to back. No, thank you.
I liked quickly about the Sunday Night Live. Chicago Improv.
Oh yeah, Chicago. That was good.
Look for it online if you can find it. It was funny.
Chicago Improv. We don't even know the fire imagery is for. Superstore's back in the fall.
Yes.
Yes. And The Good Place will be back in the fall.
Yes.
And that's really it with NBC. I mean, Sundays is all football, so they don't have any Sunday night stuff.
Got their America's Got Talent, their Voices.
Yeah. The Voice will be back in the fall. This Is Us will be on in the fall. Not a lot. So they're holding a lot for mid-season, including a couple new shows called The In-Between, The Village, and Abby's. Blacklist will be coming back. And, of course, Fox canceled Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And within 2 days, NBC picked up Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which makes sense.
Snatched that right up.
Right away. There was a lot of outcry when that got canceled, which was kind of surprising to me. It's a good show, but it never seemed to have like a huge fan base.
Apparently, it had a secret fan base that we didn't know about.
With Mark Hamill and Lin-Manuel Miranda, apparently. And so NBC, actually, Universal produces that. So it kind of was a no-brainer for them to pick up.
Yeah, and give it a chance. I mean, their big hits get a lot of views, but their medium kind of things don't get a ton. So it'd probably get more views than most of their shows. Yeah, that's true. And I think, and I'm hoping that not hoping, but I would hope that the people who viewed it on Fox would be like, okay, we have to watch it now. But it didn't really help Timeless much because Timeless's numbers was about the same as it was last year. Yeah.
So for the CW, we already knew that most of their shows got picked up. Life Sentence got canceled, and Valor, which nobody watched, got canceled. And then the big news was that Jane the Virgin, iZombie, and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend all got renewed for their final seasons. We had figured that with Jane the Virgin, and we knew that with Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah.
But iZombie, it kind of makes sense too.
Yeah, you can only go so long. Should be interesting to see, not just the final seasons, of course, I want to see what's happening. What's going to replace them the year after?
Yeah, definitely.
Because those are 3 shows, like the unusual shows, not the superhero shows. So all 3 of their kind of unique shows are going to disappear at the same time.
And so the only returning one that they have not now, besides
Supernatural,
you have Supernatural, Riverdale, and Dynasty.
Yes.
So Dynasty was kind of a surprise renewal. So I can see that doesn't really get the numbers or the critical acclaim that Jane the Virgin and Crazy Ex got. So it'll be interesting. I don't think that'll get a season 3, but they're going to have to pick up a lot of shows next year.
Yeah.
So because all their superhero shows are coming back, and then they brought in a show called All American, which I think might be a football high school show. Legacies, which is a spinoff of the originals. And they picked up for the fall the reboot of Charmed.
Oh, that's right. Charmed.
Yeah, and then for mid-season, they picked up the reboot of Roswell. And they picked up this horrible show that we talked about called In the Dark, which was about that blind lady with the dog named Pretzel. Like, seriously?
Remember Sue Thomas, FBI?
Yes!
Just saying.
Does she have a dog named like a bagel and a bird named croissant? I don't know why the dog named Pretzel is like.
Remember Sue Thomas was also on Heroes, and she could see colors or hear colors.
That's right. She was a cello player, and when she played cello,
she made colors.
Yeah. Do you think Sue Thomas is going to be in the show?
That'd be amazing. I mean, she needs a gig, and if you're showing a show about blind people.
I mean, I think she's probably too old to be the star of the show. But
she could be like maybe the mom that runs that company that they work at.
Or like or a student there, or was it some sort of, she'll definitely, I think that they have to get Sue Thomas
They should, because she's like the most famous blind actor or actress that I know of.
Yeah. Even though what made me laugh was I finally watched that Jimmy Kimmel American Idol thing, and the fact that they reshowed the Scott McIntyre, Ryan Seacrest high five.
Oh my gosh, yes!
Everything. That was amazing.
I still have trouble high-fiving people like that. It's genius.
That was good. So that's at CW. But yeah, I think you brought up a good point. I think the interesting thing is going to be a year from now to see what CW is doing, because they already have
a big vacuum.
Yeah, they already have 3 guaranteed holes they have to fill, and at least 2 of their shows.
Yeah, I mean, not every new show makes it. We know that, right?
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I'm already calling In the Dark is not going to get a season 2.
You never know. Look at people like Siren for some reason.
That's true. That's true. Let's go ahead and talk about CBS.
Can you imagine if a year from now we're like, oh my God, In the Dark is the best show ever made. It's like our Resident.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, that could happen. Because
I know.
We see these shows that sound awful, and then I watch them and become addicted to it. Yeah. I didn't think I was going to like Good Doctor. Didn't think I was going to like Resident. I thought 911 was going to be total garbage, which it is, but I love it. Even back in the day, Nashville. I'm like, this is going to be dumb. Oh my God, I want more.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we could be in a year being like season 2 in the dark, amazing, excited, you know,
I want
pretzel,
more.
you're
I want
everything.
to say, give me a pretzel spinoff. Pretzel could like meet a girl dog or a boy dog. I don't know what gender Pretzel is. It doesn't matter. And
Pretzel
call it
puppies.
Mustard. Mustard.
Oh,
So we have a spinoff called Pretzel and Mustard. And I don't know.
Pretzel bites is their babies.
Pretzel bites.
Or what are those combos? Those little pretzel things?
Oh, those
combos?
are so gross. It's like little powder inside. Oh my God, pretzel. We need like pretzel merchandise. I don't even know what kind of dog pretzel
we
is.
should get on that and start making some money.
We'll be CW to the punch.
Yeah.
So CBS, they canceled 9JKL. Never watched.
Never watched.
They canceled Kevin Can Wait, which was the Kevin
I
James
didn't
show.
really enjoy it that much.
I didn't watch it. Living Biblically, which looked awful.
Never watched.
Me, Myself, and I, which I didn't watch past the season. First
Didn't
episode.
even watch one. Did I watch one?
That was the
No.
Bobby Moynihan one.
Oh, yeah, I watched one.
Scorpion. Sorry, Catherine McPhee.
Never watched. Keep going back to owning David Foster. Yep.
Superior Donuts, Wisdom of the Crowd, and Zoo.
I mean, there's only one on the list I'm sad about.
Zoo.
Yeah.
And Code Black was canceled this last week too, which was a medical show.
That was. I mean, I never watched it, but I kept seeing commercials on my TV, and it looked horrible.
Yeah, they had 3 seasons of it, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So they are having some of their new shows this year, including The Neighborhood, which I believe we talked about. That was the one where you had the white guy moving into like a black.
Oh yeah, that one sounds okay.
They changed the casting of it though. The guy the main guy who I was not familiar with got replaced with that Max Greenfield who was on
New Girl.
New Girl, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know him well. I just know the name and that he was on New Girl.
A show called Happy Together. Magnum PI reboot got picked up. FBI got picked up, which was interesting because I think was it Mira Sorvino was going to be in it, but she's no longer involved with that show. Survivor's back for the 80th season. In the fall, it's going to be David versus Goliath. And we're going to get like a pro wrestler. We're going to get Mike White, who is an actor and a screenwriter. We're going to get one of those Gainesville, Florida hot cops from the hurricane.
Hot cop is very hot.
And they're going to be on the Goliath tribe with a bunch of like nerdy looking against a bunch of nerdy.
Oh, and that horrible douche couple that released a picture of themselves and broke their NDA. Yeah.
Yes, and they've already. Well, at least he's already been uninvited to the reunion. Which, you know what, they don't talk to you anymore. So what's the point?
There's no. You get a fee for showing up.
You get the appearance fee, and you get to party and see all the other survivors. But still, what's the point?
Well, and I mean, who knows how far he's made it? Maybe he was in the top 3 and they would have talked to him.
True. I'll have to look for spoilers. That's true. He may have gone far. I still think, though, that if they were willing to take that risk, and this I know nothing.
This is all speculation. Yeah.
I think they're both pre-jury.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even though there was that older black lady who looked kind of awesome in the preview, who's on the Goliath tribe, she looks like she doesn't belong in that tribe because they all look like they're very physical and strong, that I can see her going out fairly early. But you know what? Look at Suri. Suri makes it far every time she goes.
Can I ask a question? We just had the Survivor finale.
Yes.
And we had Wendell crowned the winner.
Yes.
Spoiler, people. Is he the first African-American man to win?
Earl.
I forgot about Earl. I'm like, there must have been one other guy.
And Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy won. That's right. I liked Jeremy.
Yeah. Was that second chances he won? Yes.
Yeah, he didn't win his first season. That's right. Because he went off really early and people were so sad.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to remember winners on Survivor. There's been 100 winners.
Well, we've had so many seasons that's hard. And then Vesepia won season.
Yeah, I remember she's the first black person, first black woman.
Yeah. And so Earl, which was not a very good season. I think that was the original Fiji, to be honest. And then Jeremy and now
Wendell.
Okay. Which I still haven't watched the full finale.
I could see Wendell coming back for a future season. I think and I'm sure they'll bring back Dawn.
Well, I think if anyone's guaranteed a second return, would be Michael.
I could see them bringing Jonathan back, and I could even see Laurel getting another chance.
Yeah. I can see all those being possible chances.
Yeah.
Please no.
By the way, can I say, oh my God, Angela, when she showed up at her first tribal council, I was like, who's that? She looked 25 years younger with makeup on.
Oh my God, I'll have to watch that.
I was like, damn, she looks hot.
Who got voted off first? Donathan?
No, Angela.
Angela got voted out first, and then
I think so.
Donathan or Sebastian?
Oh, maybe it was no Sebastian. Then, I can't remember. I think it was Sebastian, then Donovan, then Angela.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll go back. I still never watched the season that Tyson won. I never watched that finale because Tyson was disgusting.
Yeah, I never finished watching that one either because it was gross.
Yeah. So Thursday night, Big Bang Theory is going to be back. Still don't know if it's the final season or not.
I feel like because the actors have kind of been saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, what else are they going to do? I like the show. I watch it. It's not great anymore. But yeah, I mean, there's only so much they can do. And
then young Sheldon is coming back. Yeah. And Mom, of course, and Murphy Brown.
I love Mom. Murphy Brown looks horrifying in her promos.
Yes. And then the only other new show in the fall is that other horrible one we talked about a few weeks ago called God Friended Me.
Oh, God, please don't friend me.
You know what? I think 3 of the shows I had on my worst we've already talked about is being picked up for the fall. The Pretzel Show, that Airplane Show, and God Friended Me.
You'd be like, they're not even making pretzels.
You know what? Maybe she should get a new job at the pretzel factory with her dog Pretzel. She could, I don't know. So God Friended Me, that was one where there's this guy who gets a friend request from God. He's an atheist. It sounds awful.
Yeah, and of course, I feel like he's going through a whole spiritual journey.
And of course, it's on a Sunday night.
Followed by a very special Touched by an Angel.
And then in the mid-season, we're going to get Instinct is coming back for some reason. Life in Pieces is coming back. Man with a Plan. Amazing Race will come back. Something called The Red Line. Something called Blood and Treasure. So
I didn't watch any of those shows you mentioned.
No, I feel like
the only CBS shows I guess I watch are Big Bang Theory and maybe Criminal Minds sometimes. I can't think of any.
Survivor.
Oh, Survivor, yeah.
Big Brother and Salvation.
Yeah. Oh, Salvation, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I watch almost nothing on that station.
So let's go to ABC. And ABC has canceled Alex Inc., which was the Zach Braff sitcom nobody watched.
Yeah.
The Crossing.
They canceled it?
Yeah, The Crossing.
I'm glad I stopped watching. It got bad.
I stopped watching it, too, after the first episode.
I held in for maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, Designated Survivor. Kevin Probably Saves the World. Inhumans, The Mayor, The Middle, of course. Once Upon a Time, they both ended. Quantico, Scandal ended, too.
Quantico finally canceled?
Yeah. And Deception in the series finale, 2-hour series finale is tonight on ABC. And I think it's a fun show.
It's actually, you know what? It won me over.
It's a fun show. It's not great, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I like the characters. Even though I kind of did you watch last week's episode?
No, I haven't. Because I knew it got canceled, so I was kind of like, should I even bother now?
I'm gonna stick with it. It's the finale tonight. Hopefully we'll get some sort of answers. I doubt it though. But yeah, so
hopefully it'll be one of those ones where they wrap it up and then maybe set up for the next season. If there was going to be a next season, but
all right. So for the fall, Roseanne's moving to 8:00 on Tuesdays. The Good Doctor will be on Mondays. They're somehow bringing back the Splitting Up Together, which was that Jenna Fisher show. Apparently, that's coming back.
Okay.
They picked up that Nathan Fillion cop show, The Rookie. The Kids Are All Right, which is a show with.
Is that based on the movie from before?
No, I don't think so. It looks like it's a family sitcom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. With Single Parents is another new sitcom that'll be.
I remember we talked about that Single Parents one. It sounds awful.
Which it did not sound very good. That'll be on the same night as Goldberg's American Housewife, Modern Family. A Million Little Things got renewed. I think I talked about that one a few weeks ago. It's probably going to be bad, but it looked okay to me. Friday nights, Fresh Off the Boat and Speechless are moving to Fridays.
Oh, Death Night.
And they're being paired. Yes, they're being paired with Child Support.
I like Child Support. I saw Ricky Facebook that he was going to film his
nice.
Parts, so
nice. Yeah. And then the mid-season is going to be going to be For the People, which I still haven't watched. Schooled, which is the Goldberg's 90s spinoff. Whiskey Cavalier, which is the new show with Maggie from Walking Dead. And Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be held till the summer next year.
That's got to be on its last legs, too.
Everyone thought I think it was on the verge of getting canceled this year.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that they're not saying ahead of time that this is the final season.
Yeah.
It probably will be, but we'll see. Okay, so finally we have Fox, and they canceled Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which again got picked up.
I'm mad at Fox.
For which, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which got picked up by NBC. The Exorcist, Last Man on Earth.
For that show, because that was a good show, and so was Last Man on Earth.
The Mick, The New Girl, something called Shots Fired, and LA to Vegas. And I think, was there another show they canceled? I'm not sure.
Hashtag Save Lucifer on Monday tomorrow. Make sure you tweet that, people, because there's a chance we can save Lucifer.
So what happened with Lucifer is that they, just like the season before, this last season, they had 4 episodes that were shot the previous season that were kind of standalones, and they aired throughout the season. Now they've got 2 that they filmed but never aired, and they're being aired tomorrow night. So I think that Lucifer fans definitely need to watch, definitely need to tweet.
Yeah, I'm going to Facebook this, and if you're my friend on Facebook, please share it and try to get people to tweet and share on social media.
Because it's too. Fox won't renew it, and they've already come out.
Somebody else might pick it up. That's my hope.
Yes.
Even if it's for a final season, just to wrap up our storylines.
I keep thinking that I don't know when this is coming on, or what it's called, or what it's going to do, but I still think the DC streaming service is going to be the best bet. Is that even going to
be this year, or is that 3 years from now?
It should be fairly soon, because there's not a Justice League, a Teen Titans show that they've been filming forever, and they've released a lot of screenshots. And
that's going to be on the DC station.
And that's on the DC streaming station. And so I feel like that should be coming fairly soon.
Yeah, people, we need to save Lucifer. I'm actually going to watch that on my actual TV tomorrow. My husband can pound salt.
They're not airing it. They're not airing it tonight in Canada?
Oh, it may be tonight. I better watch it. I'm supposed to go to the movies. I'll put my TV station on.
And DVR it on top of it.
Yeah, so and I will DVR it.
They'll get the DVR.
Good point. I forgot that plays on Sundays in Canada. Let's try to save it, because it is a good show. It's got good acting, other than the lady cop. She's horrible, but I've come to love her. The rest of the acting is so good, and it's funny, and it's quirky, and I know it's not completely unique, but there's just something about Tom Ellis, the actor playing Lucifer. He's very charming, and I love him. And I mean, it's not like I'm like, oh, he's so sexy, I want to bone him, because when do I ever say that? I just think he's so charming, and he's just really likable.
That's how I feel about the Deception guy too. Is that there's a charm to him.
Yeah.
Because Lucifer got its start in a DC Vertigo comic, that character. So the DC streaming service to me makes sense, because it has a history with DC Comics.
Yeah, and tomorrow I know I've started following Tom Ellis on Twitter, and he's definitely been, trying to get the fans behind it. And tomorrow is a big hashtag Save Lucifer Day. So if people can get that trending and get enough, retweets, then maybe they'll look at it and save it.
But you know what? Monday nights on Fox is going to be our new night of amazing
cool kids.
No, it's a back-to-back on Monday nights of The Resident and 911.
Oh, okay. And you're going to be trying to go up against Dr. Sean Murphy?
It's going to be at a different time, but same night, because Dr. Sean Murphy's at 10. The Resident will be at 8.
Okay, and then a 9
so that's 3 hours of amazing TV back-to-back. Resident 911, Dr. Sean Murphy. So The Resident had its season finale a couple weeks ago, and Dr. Evil Curly Hair Lady got her comeuppance finally.
Yes, that bitch is going to jail.
Yeah, she's going to jail. She was kind of turned in by Dr. Shaky Hands, who was kind of lying to her. And obviously he didn't do he did it what's best for the hospital.
Yeah, and himself, yeah.
Yeah, and himself, always for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that I guess the new person in charge of the hospital, the new funder or something, is going to be Dr. Badass's dad.
Yeah, Daddy Badass.
Daddy Badass. Oh, I like that. Daddy Badass has been in a lot of stuff.
He looks familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the long-term. He was in the original run of 24, he was the only character to be in every season except for Kiefer Sutherland. He was like the Secret Service agent of the president, and he's been in like Transformers, a lot of stuff.
Okay, yeah, he definitely is that face. You know when you see this face, you're like, I know that person. Yeah.
Tuesday night is The Gifted and Lethal Weapon, which kind of had a little bit of, it was in the news the last couple of weeks. The main actor kind of got in trouble for his behavior, reckless behavior on set, dangerous behavior. It must be.
Now I know they recast. Did they recast the role or just they're replacing that character?
I don't know if
they haven't really said, have they?
I don't think so. They replaced it with Sean William Scott, famous for being Stifler in American Pie. Yeah. And I could see him as a Riggs, but I don't know if he's going to be playing Riggs or if he's going to be playing another character.
Because Lethal Weapon is the story of these two guys, and Riggs is kind of a certain way. And I think if you just bring in a new partner who's exactly the same is not really, you know, I think just recast him. People won't care.
Yeah, it might say in the article. I haven't read it close enough. I just know Sean William Scott, who can play that type of role.
I mean, he's okay. So. He's not, and he's a likable guy.
Wednesday night's going to stay exactly the same with Empire and Star.
Yes.
The reason why Fox canceled a lot of stuff is Thursday night's going to be football in the fall. They purchased the rights to air football on Thursdays with a lot of money. Friday's interesting. They brought back Last Man Standing, which used to be on ABC. They saw that the Roseanne show got a lot.
My eyes so hard right now.
Yeah, I don't need that. But because of Last Man Standing, they needed a show that they could pair with it. So they went to one of their pilots that we talked about a few weeks ago, a pilot that looked like it was dead in the water, and they ordered episodes of The Cool Kids.
Which makes me happy. That's the only reason I'm not completely mad at Fox.
Yeah.
Because they did that show sounds so great. Please don't let us down, Cool Kids.
It'll be awful, but I can't wait. That's the one with Marsha Lawrence, Martin Mull, David Allen Greer, and Leslie Jordan.
Vicki Lawrence.
Who did I say?
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence?
Marsha Lawrence.
Oh, Marsha. Oh, you know what? I got her mixed up with Marsha, the one that did the voice of Edna Krabappel, who passed away years ago. I get those two mixed up all the time.
Yeah, similar looking ladies, yeah.
Yeah. And Carol Burnett. Those three I get mixed up.
Oh, I love Carol Burnett too. That show.
Except for her show. Yeah. And then they brought this sitcom called Rel onto Sunday night, which features some... I think he was the friend, the only good part of Get Out. He was the friend.
Oh, he was funny.
He was hilarious. Yeah. And so I guess he's going to star in his own show on Sunday nights. That means the Orville will be mid-season. Gotham is mid-season. Master Chefs. And then the new show is Proven Innocent, which is from the guy that plays, I can't think of his name right now, Jonathan on Buffy, who does Empire and all that. Danny Strong, I believe that's his show. And The Passage, which was that apocalyptic vampire show with Zach Morris.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, those are the fall. A lot of big cancellations this year.
Yeah.
I get sad every year. But I feel like, no, you know what? I'm going to say I strengthen and I harden every year. But no, every year there's going to be the Forevers and the Lucifers and the Forevers.
Yeah, well, and like, you know, you were talking about Deception. That was a show that was kind of a unique, different little show. And, you know, it didn't make it.
Yeah. Or
that show was good enough. It should have got a second season.
Yeah, I feel like that could have gotten a season 2. I don't want to watch a Nathan Fillion show.
No, I have zero desire to watch a Nathan Fillion cop show. There's so many. I mean, I know Deception is kind of a cop show too.
Oh,
but it's a different kind of cop show. I don't need to see the old, you know.
Well, that's the thing is we have all shows on TV these days are pretty much, it's a cop show, but instead of a cop for a partner, it's a blank. It's a zombie.
Pretzel.
It's Satan. It's Pretzel. Oh, that sounds good, actually.
Yeah.
It's a magician. And that's pretty much like half the shows on TV right now.
Yeah, even that Netflix show with Will Smith. It's an alien.
It's an alien.
Whatever those things were, an orcs, whatever the frick those things were.
I did not watch that movie. That looked bad. That looked bad. But yeah, so...
I'm sure by October we'll be announcing the shows that have already been canceled.
I'm looking at you, Manifest.
Yeah.
That show's not going to last. But I feel like the last few years, they haven't quite been as trigger happy. They've let them play out, or they'll move them to Saturdays or Fridays. And then they'll be like silent until like May. They're like, oh, by the way, we canceled Inhumans months ago.
Yeah.
We canceled 10 Days in the Valley back in October.
Yeah, exactly.
But they won't.
I mean, the way to make it these days is try to get on a streaming service, but
yeah, you know, that doesn't always work well. Sorry, everything sucks.
Or Gypsy. The 2 shows canceled by Netflix.
It did another one.
Sense8.
Sense8, and there was another one.
Sense8 got 2 seasons, and it was an expensive show, and I know it was hard to make that show. I mean, I never expected that show to stick around 10 years.
And we got a couple weeks for the finale movie.
Yeah, the finale movie. So that should be good.
Speaking of Netflix, last week we saw the premiere of season 2 of 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
And I watched it in a weekend.
Same.
Now, going into this, so season 1, based on a famous YA novel, we have Hannah Baker, who has committed suicide. She's a high school student, and she feels like there were all these reasons leading up to why she did what she did. So
and it's not so much like a blame, like you are the reason, number one, I killed myself. It's just like these are all the things.
The reasons why.
Why I killed myself.
So she records these audio cassettes and she sends them one by one to each person on the tape. And we finally a little more than halfway, we see Clay Jensen, and he gets the tapes. And the whole time he's like, why am I on this tape? I've never done anything bad to her. I never did anything wrong with her.
He was her friend and he cared about her. He was in love with her.
And so we follow him as he listens to each tape, and each episode was one tape. And then we would see the story, the flashbacks of what was going on in the tape, and then we'd see an overarching story about trying to like get Clay to not listen to the tapes and all this stuff with all the students in the school that are on the tapes.
Yes.
And I felt like it added a lot more to the book, but it was the complete story of the book. Season 1 ended where the book ended. It was the book story. And so my concern was always with the season 2 is, where does this go? Is this enough story to make a season 2? And my answer is kind of.
Yeah. It's an okay version. It felt a lot like a Pretty Little Liars season.
Yeah.
With the there's Hannah wasn't the only one.
And there's a lot of mysteries too. It's like, who's leaving the Polaroids? Who stole the Polaroid box? Who's
threatening the witnesses?
All the threats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the answer to that question is a character we saw for a total of 2 seconds.
Spoilers.
There will be spoilers in this conversation.
Yeah, Sister Patty, if you're watching, I know you haven't finished. Turn it off now.
I didn't say which character it was. I felt like there were a lot of characters that they only would show every once in a while.
Well, like I said, my biggest suspect was the coach. Maybe it was the coach.
Yeah, maybe it was. We didn't see much of the coach. There were a lot of characters that it could have been. And that's the one thing, is they introduced a lot of characters this new season. Yeah. Some worked better than others did. I thought Chloe was interesting.
Chloe,
was that what her name was? The girlfriend / cheerleader of Bryce?
Oh yes, I liked her. Yeah. So, I didn't want to, but I did.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. She did some things I didn't really necessarily agree with, and then we got a big twist with her in the finale.
Yeah.
But so last year everything was framed by the tapes. This year a lot of the narration is framed by the court case. So Hannah Baker's mom, because the dad isn't really in the picture that much, is suing the school district that they should be held liable for the suicide.
Negligent for all the evidence that they had that Hannah was suicidal and that they didn't let the family know or seek counseling for her.
And every episode features 1 or 2 of the characters on the stand, kind of being our narrator.
Yeah.
So the first episode, it's Tyler. He was the kind of the pervy photographer who we saw kind of have the guns at the end of the finale. And that's kind of a through line throughout the whole season. And so we drop in with a lot of the characters from season 1. Some we see more than others. We don't see a lot of Courtney. We only get Hideous Marcus a couple times, but thank God that guy's ugh.
He's really hideous.
And then at the meantime, Clay's getting a couple Polaroids throughout the season that show Bryce in compromising situations with girls, and so they got to figure out where these pictures are taken from. They want to kind of bring down Bryce. And at the beginning of the season, Clay is dating Sky, who he talked with at the beginning of the finale last season. I know how much you love Sky.
Do not. Do not. I just didn't think that. I mean, I remember at the end of last year, at the last season, I kind of was like, go talk to her, but I just didn't like the evolution of the character over the summer or whatever happened to her. Did not like.
No, and I didn't feel like they needed to necessarily be dating 5 months later.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like her. I didn't really like her influence on Clay.
He was taking his shirt off every 10 minutes.
Oh, that was disgusting. You notice that when she's out of the picture, his shirt stayed on the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank God.
So she was a bad influence. Unfortunately, they write her out pretty quickly. They bring her back for one episode later on, but then she disappears, so that's good. Thank God. And so it's kind of interesting to see what the characters are doing. Alex is recovering from having shot himself in the head.
Yeah.
And
trying to remember. He has huge memory gaps.
Yeah,
huge memory gaps. He wants to help at the trial, but he can't remember, like about a month before. He can't remember listening to the tapes. He can't remember a lot of things.
And he lost a lot of the strength in his legs. He needs a cane to walk around.
Yeah.
I will say there were two, and I don't think I mentioned this to you yet. There were two, I don't want to say relationships, because they're two friendships that I really liked throughout the series. And one was, I liked Zach and Alex together.
Me too. I was mad that they made me like Zach because I was very angry at him last season, and I remember being angry at him. They made him a nice guy and a good guy, and he did a great job. That actor did a really good job.
But I think overall, when you look at a lot of the characters from last season being on the tape, I always felt like Zach's inclusion was a little less.
Yeah, it wasn't to the tunes
of
like a Bryce, right? I mean, he didn't do anything. He wasn't as bad as Marcus. But yeah, I mean, he did a shitty thing, and he's only human. He's only human. He's only a kid. I will forgive him.
And what they did, though, which kind of bugged me, was they kind of went back and be like, oh, you thought you knew the relationships between all these characters? Well, there's more you didn't see.
Yeah.
We found out that Zach and Hannah had this whole, like, summer fling. Where they lost their virginities to each other and just had sex all summer long until Zach's friends came back. We found out.
But I did like that he kept her a secret, because that's true to Zach. We know that. Right?
It is true to Zach. We know
I did like him and Alex, though. I think that's a nice relationship.
Yes,
and they were friends before. We saw them interacting previous seasons, so it's not.
It wasn't like it was out of the thing, but he definitely he was there to help Alex a lot. As Alex was recovering, he was helping train Alex in the pool, trying to get his leg strength back, and it was really kind of it was a nice friendship. I like that.
It was.
And Jessica was coming back to school for the first time after having taken a few months off after listening to tapes, all the rape stuff. And
all the rape stuff came out. Everybody kind of knows. Either they believe she was raped or they thought she was asking for it and she's making up the rape, right?
Yeah. And then, but every time someone goes up to the stand, the school warps it into their favor. And so even people that are there for Hannah don't always get to be successful. Like Jessica stopped short of naming Bryce, and the school was able to warp it. You could tell the whole time the lawsuit was going in favor of the school. Yeah, and so Clay and then Tony, who's 50 years old, doesn't look a day over 60. They were like, oh, we need to get Justin. So Justin was a character from last year who was on the tape. He had went out with Hannah a couple times. He was dating Jessica. And he ran away at the end of last season.
He witnessed Bryce raping Jessica and was too afraid to stand up to Bryce.
Too afraid. And so I think he had a lot of guilt. Yeah.
He has a horrible home life, and he just that was the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back, and he ran away.
So he took all the money from his mom's druggy boyfriend, and we find out that he went up to like San Francisco, San Jose, the Bay, Oakland. It was Oakland.
Yeah, and he's on the streets addicted to heroin.
And he's addicted to heroin, and he's kind of homeless, kind of living here and there. And they pick him up, and that leads me to the other friendship that I loved. I loved Clay and Justin together.
I was gonna say Justin and Clay's parents, but yeah,
Justin's and Clay parents was awesome too.
And I have to say Justin really came around for me, and I liked him with everybody, even when he interacted with Tony, even when he interacted with
Sherry. I like the Sherry stuff too.
Yeah, yeah. I thought, I mean, he's turned into quite an actor.
Yeah, thanks, Sam Smith. No,
I guess. I guess
he was. I really felt for him this year. He was probably one of my favorite characters this season. And so they bring him back to Clay's house, and he's strung up on heroin, so they have to kind of detox him, and they're hiding him in the house. And so, of course, that's never going to go well. So after a while, the parents do find out. And I like how the parents were kind of negative at first, but they're like, okay, he can stay, whatever. And I really, especially between the dad, I really liked Justin and Clay's dad. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, and it was nice.
And it leads to a moment in the finale where I was in tears. And I thought it was a very sweet moment.
Yeah.
As we find out what's going to happen to Justin. And and so we get a finale, and we get the episode before the finale. We find out what's going to happen with the lawsuit. We find the result, and then the finale takes place a month after that. And the finale was interesting. It kind of led to the ending of a lot of the characters, like moving on, leaving, some new steps with other characters. And I did not like the ending at all. But I'm hoping that if we do get a season 3, the Hannah story's done. I think they did an awesome job.
I read an interview with the actress yesterday, and she said Hannah's storyline is done, and there's really no reason for her to come back.
Because throughout the whole season, we saw Ghost Hannah, which I'm calling her. Obviously, it's part of Clay's subconscious.
Clay's having a breakdown.
Yeah, and Clay is talking with this figure who he's saying as Hannah, and he gives a nice eulogy for her at the memorial service. And we see a scene where it's just Hannah. She stands up and disappears into the white. And so I think that's kind of
symbolic of her crossing over, and she's done. Yeah.
And I thought that was really well done. The mom's leaving, so in her awful wig. And she had that friend who was the worst character ever.
Oh, I thought that person was going to screw her over somehow.
I did too. And she just randomly left one day once it looks like
Hannah had been a previous bully in her years.
Once it turned out that Hannah wasn't angelic and perfect, but who is?
Nobody.
Perfect.
She's a person. I want to say, and she was not one of my favorite characters last year, but her acting this year was fantastic too. Jessica.
She did
a really good job. Her acting game is up, and I've really kind of felt a lot more for her.
Yeah, I really felt like her and Justin stepped it up this year.
They did.
Acting. And Zach. And I really felt
Clay did a lot better.
But he's always been a pretty good actor.
Yeah. He's not a horrible actor.
Ever since we saw him as Jack and Juliet's big-headed son on Lost.
Yeah.
And on a way.
And I know there's a lot of controversy, and people are saying it's so graphic, and it glorifies suicide, and it glorifies, shootings, and it glorifies violence and drugs and rapes. No, it shows you how horrible those things are, and please don't do them. I mean, I guess if you have a problem with suicide and you're suicidal, don't watch it, because it's not going to make you feel better at the end.
And they did put a lot of warnings this year. Before, there's always a little after. There's always a different actor giving, like, go to this website if you do this, and there's like a whole after show that I'm sure that's part of it.
It's entertainment too, and not everything that is entertaining has to, I don't want to say, it doesn't always have to like wrap you up and protect you.
Yeah. I just want a couple more things before we go. I thought Alex did a very good job too.
Yeah, he's good.
And that last episode, I
still don't buy that he's straight, but
no, 100% not. I almost thought they were going to go a gay storyline, and when he had his rage boner.
But that would have been awful if he turned gay because he had a brain injury.
Yeah, that's true.
They couldn't do that.
So the other thing was that last episode last year had that suicide scene, which was so hard to watch.
Yeah.
This year there was a bowling scene in a bathroom that had a scene that was very hard for me to watch.
Yeah. No, it was. I think anybody would find that very hard to watch.
I'll never look at
the big rape scene in last year too. That was really hard to watch. So,
I just want to say, damn you, mop handle.
Well, I mean, there's some sex scenes between Chloe and Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
I was not comfortable with, right? No. I found them really hard to watch. It wasn't romantic, and I mean, that actress did a really good job of making you feel for her. Yeah, it was not good.
Last question, since we're going a little bit long. Do you want a season 3?
Yeah, I do. I still
Okay.
want to see Bryce get his comeuppance.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because we definitely saw a teasing where he's going to be transferred to another school. But apparently he was a year above everybody, so now he's going to be in the same year as everybody, and so he'll be playing football against Zach and all those characters. I don't know. I feel kind of happy with where we left off.
I mean, if it ends, I'm okay. If it doesn't come back, but I'd be okay for another season.
Yeah. So we'll see. I bet we're gonna get another one because I feel like people were talking about the season a lot too.
Yeah, and I liked him and I didn't like him. The new friend that Tyler made, the little weasel guy,
Cyrus. Yeah,
I kind of liked him because I thought, well, he's befriending him, but he kind of was Weasley at the same time, and I kind of want to see him get his kind of comeuppance.
And I think it's a lot of those people though. You've seen a lot of those people where they kind of will exude one thing, like he's trying to exude being an anarchist and being anti-establishment and being tough and all this, but in the end, he's just a weasel. He'll go back, he'll turn on you, and I like that one scene where he's like, "Yeah, my kids are in therapy" or whatever the dad said.
Yeah,
he's like, "You've got a therapist, dude."
Yeah, exactly.
And so he's trying to show one thing at school when he's obviously something completely different. So I think
there's a lot of people do at high school, 100%.
Right? So there's probably more to explore with Cyrus there.
It should be interesting to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that'll be it. We went over a little bit, but we had to have our reasons why.
So. 13 of them. I will say there was a list on the last episode that made me cry too.
Oh, the list, yes.
That's all I'll say.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. That was sad. I cried again then too. You're right.
Me too.
Okay, so check it out. Make sure you #save Lucifer tomorrow, please, and have a good week. And hopefully we'll be back next weekend. Bye.